to Miss Martin Muses and a disappearing Miss Martin. There I am. Why, hello there. Welcome to Midweek Musings. Yay, we have made it to midweek. Let me know how you survived this week so far. Has it been a most perfectly splendid one, or has it completely sucked? Well, in any case, I'm happy you're here and I'm happy to be here and to start my day with you. I'm very happy that my schedule is allowing for me to be here with you all today. So let me know in the stream about what you would like to muse. Of course, we have open musings on these kind of musings, and that means that we can muse about whatever you would like to muse, except for the fact that I do get veto power because just in case certain topics, let's just put it to you that way, certain topics we will be careful of. But besides that, it is so good to be here. Well, I've got some things to say. I went to look at some animals yesterday, and looking at animals makes you happy unless you hate animals. And in that case, then I guess it wouldn't. But I did. And if I guess what I'm trying to say is do what makes you happy if you can. I mean, I know we have all got obligations, work obligations, family obligations, caregiving obligations, all of that kind of stuff. But if you can go and, as Agent Dale Cooper says, give yourself a present every day. Give yourself a present every day. And speaking of which, I have a picture of that somewhere, but I don't have it with me. And look who it is. It is DJ Play Nice. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you. And for everyone that will be coming in and maybe watching on the replay, thank you for hosting. Well, again, as always, thank you for being here. Yeah. What are you doing to make yourself happy this hump day? Partially what I'm doing, besides being here with you, is I am drinking a lovely cup of coffee. Another thing, look after yourself if you can. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to rest. I'm not going to push it. Because why push it if you do not have to? Because there is nothing worse than being sick and then being sicker, especially with all of these kind of allergies and summer colds that we find ourselves stuck with at this time. I guess is it a summer cold if it's in the spring? I don't know, but either way, it's a cold and it's misery. So that's a little bit of what I'm going through right now. And I'm also going through small technical difficulties, but I can handle it. But once again, glad to be here. I do have something prepared. As always, I am at heart a pedagogy lady. I'm a teacher at heart. So yes, I do like to teach. I do like to share. So I'm going to bring that up in just a second. But I'm thinking about entertainment. That Snow White thing is coming up. And allegedly that ticket sales are really down. Now, I'm trying to imagine if I had the target audience, which is girls between the ages of 3 and 12. And let's be honest, yes, as young as 3. Those are the kind of ones that would just old enough to go into the cinema on an afternoon show or a morning show. You give them that little candy package. Good times. These are for children, little girls, maybe up to tweens. There's nothing about this that makes me think any child would want to see that. Now, maybe part of their problem is they're trying to make it a little more mature. I saw the the scene they released where she's like, "Oh, we must help the poor, the people, be a leader." And I'm like, yeah, I can think about a 3-year-old. Okay, that's very enticing. So maybe they think by doing that, they'll get older people into it. But at the same time, they have those creepy little weirdo things. Is that why they kept those in? So that the little kids would like them? But I don't think little kids would like that. Let's just be frank. If I had a little girl or a little boy for that matter, boys like this movie, I can just imagine that it's so much easier to plop them down in front of Disney Plus or your DVD or old VCR and just show them the old one. What is there about this that makes you want to see it? They are victims of their own success. They did Cinderella and they did The Beauty and the Beast. Now, I can kind of understand a little bit of Beauty and the Beast. I thought it was kind of cool seeing the big castle and all of that. I was into that at the time, but of course, seeing what these live adaptations have become, I guess I'm not as into them. But I guess I can understand the thinking. And the Cinderella, well, they actually kept a lot of the magic of it. I really don't honestly think they didn't really change much, did they? I mean, and so the Cinderella one and the Beauty and the Beast one were successful, and then they said, "Hey, let's do it with the Lion King. Let's just not change anything. Let's just make them real animals." And it was incredibly successful. And then they just started making them for the sake of making them, and you had, like, that Aladdin. Oh my gosh, that just looked awful. So many awful ones. But this is the cake. Even if the lead star had not sat around and been horrendous and terrible and mean and rude and weird, it still would not be doing well. We have disasters like The Little Mermaid. Oh my goodness gracious, wasn't that a mess? Little Mermaid and what's the other one? I don't know. Just disaster after disaster, but it is karma. I'm happy that they are victims of their own victimy. For some reason, the algorithm popped up with the thing about the Disney Star Wars hotel disaster. Maybe it's because I was talking about Snow White and stuff. They thought I wanted to talk about these things. Oh gosh, talk about another hubris. The idea that people would pay thousands upon thousands. And in this review of a YouTuber that had been there, she had actually paid for it. So she was giving her honest opinion. They also nickel and dimed you once you got in. It's just like, oh my gosh. Well, look who it is. It is Orange Hat Reviews. Hello there. Watching you before doing my video on Hollywood dialing back the premiere of for Snow White. Yes, speaking of Snow White, my goodness gracious. The premiere. Who ever heard of them dialing back a premiere? And I honestly think it really has to do with that little girl not being able to keep her big mouth shut. Or maybe something a little slightly more controversial. Gal Gadot being who she is, her heritage, let's put it to you that way, and things that she has spoken of, maybe their prejudice is coming through there. It's like they're getting hit from both sides. This is why you just have to create your art and not care. When Hollywood explicitly started getting involved with politics, I remember when it started in the 80s. Well, wait, in the 70s, they started doing that during the Academy Awards. That was kind of when it started to bleed over. It just doesn't mix. It doesn't mix well. Now, that's not to say that things weren't political before. It was just more behind the scenes. I love it. Someone pointed out about things like the Song of Bernadette. And they're saying, do you really think Hollywood was so religious back then? Or things like The Sound of Music and all that. They were catering to what was present in the culture. But they weren't necessarily believing in it. They followed trends. And maybe they had some politics, but it wasn't like the goal of their lives. And publicity machines nowadays, the fact that they just want to center publicity around politics is a very bad idea. Well, you know what's not a bad idea is a Dega Outlaw. He is here. Hello, good morning. Thank you for being here. Orange Hat is saying first UK premiere, now they oh, dude, I didn't hear about the Hollywood red carpet. First the UK premiere and now the Hollywood red carpet. What a disaster. I think they're just trying to avoid humiliation at this point. Maybe they're even afraid that reporters will start asking hard questions because reporters, journalists, yes, they're often in these people's pockets, but they also have some dignity. And if they smell blood, they will go for it. It is Star Wars Scran. Please let me know how the future is doing. Let me know. Thank you for the lovely rose. Always good to see you. Orange Hat says, also, Disney may have had to dial it back not only to prevent backlash, but also because it is a costly event to the bells and whistle, and they are already losing millions. That could be a good point. Mhm. Well, in buying publicity, that's the thing too. Whenever you see articles, there's a reason why people call them shill articles. They do pay. Yes, precious, they do. Yep, Hollywood red carpet as well. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the update. My goodness gracious. Star Wars Grand. Hello there. Why, hello there. And look who it is. Someone else from the future and across the pond. It is Mr. Brown Alliance. Morning all rainy and cold in the future. Oh, what a misery. Well, I remember those days well. Even though Ireland is not England and vice versa, or UK and vice versa, it is similar in the cold, wet, and miserable. Everyone's saying hello and fire and all that good stuff. Yes. What is my temperature? Actually, it's not very okay. Everyone's gonna hate my guts. It's not very warm here. We have, yeah, we are gonna be in. Well, never mind. Everyone's gonna hate me. We're gonna be in the 70s and 80s, so it'll be like summer for everyone else. For us, that's like a normal spring average day. Though technically, it is not spring. Hound 3000. We love our dogs here at Miss Martin Muses. Woof woof woof, Miss Martin and everyone. Yes, schedule set. Scotland is cold today. Oh yeah, Scotland. Oh hell yeah. Well done. I love Scotland. I do feel bad for my ancestral homeland. They just welcomed Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, Ireland has some issues. I'll just leave it at that. But it's a tradition that a lot of these stars do go over to Ireland, particularly because they give them tax breaks and stuff. Though rumor has it they've stopped doing that. Rumor has it. But, well, I do share your sentiment. Things have been going on in Ireland for quite a while that have not been good at all. At all. Not at all. But I'm constantly reminded by my loved ones in Ireland and friends of the channel, just like in America, like during the last administration, just because that was who was our president, that doesn't necessarily represent all Americans. I know that there are many Irish that are fighting the good fight, and my heart is with you all. Orange Hat, sorry to hear that, though I'm glad she didn't choose mine. Yeah, I'm ashamed of Ireland's well-doing. Oh, hey, you read my mind. Do their policy changes and laws. Well, I saw it coming, and we warned about the slippery slope, and everyone was like, "Oh no, oh no!" And then suddenly you wake up in your country, it's gone. Oh, but always, as always, remember the heart of Ireland is there. People are fighting the good fight. Those of in the faith are really fighting the good fight. Sadly, doing an uphill battle. Not unlike many blue cities rule certain areas of America. Dublin rules the rest of the country. I feel for them, but we must pray for them. Pray to if you are so inclined, pray to Our Lady, St. Patrick. Well, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Let's pray for them. St. Patrick and Lady of Knock. St. Bridget. Correction, torrential rain. That sounds right too. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm so sorry. I remember walking to school and you have an umbrella. And like, why do we even have an umbrella? The rain goes horizontal because of the gale force winds. Yeah. Well, more power to people, though. I mean, if people really say they're going to move because of an election, if they actually follow through, you gotta give them credit. Fun fact, says Orange Hat. St. Patrick converted my Irish ancestors to Catholicism. They were one of his first converts. Ah, there we go. Help me out here. Which area? Not to say that I'm trying to think. I mainly remember things going on in the Rock of Cashel, the whole him baptizing the High King there. A lot of St. Patrick, what I know that's still ingrained in my heart are a lot of the legends, because those are the things that we were taught in school. For example, he prayed 100 days times a day and 100 times a night. The sticking the staff through the High King's feet, and the High King didn't complain because he thought it was part of baptism. Though actually, I think the 100 days a day and a night was from based on his writings, because he said he prayed all the time, etc. when he was in slavery. But yeah, he was a good guy, probably a very stern guy. I don't think people would like him. Like if he lived nowadays and if he was tweeting out on X the things that he wrote in his autobiography, people would be like, dude, people, oh, look who it is. It's Nordporeal Lifeform. Hello. People are hating the new Wheel of Time season. Apparently, the Shadow Rising adaptation broke a lot of dark fans. Oh, is that what they call them? Dark fans instead of dark friends? Oh my gosh. So wait, this season is supposed to be the Shadow Rising, even though it's season 3. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, precious. Well, if you can tell me without spoiling major plot points, like just in case they spoil things from future seasons, what exactly are they doing that's so terrible? Because if dark fans are being broken, it's going to be a daily thing. Is this going to be a daily thing, Miss Martin Muses? Why, yes, that is the plan, except for Fridays. Fridays is when my videos will come out. So the plan is Monday through Thursday. And I certainly am so happy to be able to do this. Life has hit me kind of hard lately, but I've been able to get back into this routine, and I think I like it, and I hope you all like it. Oh, wait, I already read that. Is this gonna be a daily thing? Yeah, we love St. Patrick here at Miss Martin Muses. I I did a biography thing for him last year. I might wouldn't this be weird? I could do some readings from St. Patrick's writings on St. Patrick's Day, and everyone will be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so fun!" Yeah, we're all gonna get converted. We're all gonna become Catholics. The wearing of the green, everybody. Yes. Oh, he would not approve of the drinking, the carousing, and all the things we mostly do. What indulgence, gluttony. I mean, I can just see him going, "This isn't what I wanted for the world." I mean, he's minding his own business in Ireland, freezing to death, preaching the gospel. And imagine this 1,500 years later, a bunch of Americans are going to dye their rivers green and get drunk on Guinness. Let's see. Nordporeal says a bunch of shield channels got to watch the whole Wheel of Time season 3 of heavy ahead of everyone else, and they hate the finale. Oh, I love it. Love it. Yeah, I can say for a fact that often fan channels will get previews and perks like that. It's fascinating though. Back when I was kind of involved with this, that was before it was shilling. It was I think it was like the beginning of all of this. So there was that, and also we kind of refused to shill. But we were respected for it. I think that's funny. So if they are actually coming out and complaining about the season 3 finale of The Wheel of Time, does this mean that they will not get perks the next time? My ancestors are from Tulla in County Clare, but also found in neighboring Limerick and Tipperary. Yeah, Tipperary. That's what I was thinking of. That's where well, not necessarily where he first converted people, but that is where the Rock of Cashel is, in Tipperary. County Clare, that is more north of where I used to hang around. I'm a Munster girl. Everyone's saying, how are you? My last name is from let me see, the Gaelic. Oh, see, I got a little bit dissonance. It's called Gaeliga. My last name is from in Gaeliga, O'Maldona. or Modena would be how you would pronounce that, yes. Well, there you go. That is a very nice long name. Yeah, Irish is technically my second language, but I don't speak it well at all. At all. Good to see you. Yeah, sorry to look a couple things after my comments were spread out. Don't be sorry. We're happy people here at Miss Martin Muses. The shills hated the finale. How ironic. Can you spoil it if it's not to do with an actual plot point from the Wheel of Time books? Then I would love to hear it. I would absolutely love to hear it, Precious. My mom is from somewhere on the island, but I was adopted. I never got the details. Oh, well, there you go. And well, God bless you for and your mother for giving you a better life, knowing that, you know, loving you that much. So I'm from Cork. Well, rather lived in Cork. I was born in Indiana. So Cork is my territory, Munster. I love Cork. I love Cork City, no matter what. No matter what Potato Revan says. It's a long way to Tipperary. Oh gosh. It's a long way to go without your mother to the sweetest girl I know. God bless her. Well, the last episode is called Elfin. Okay. I'm not sure I get the reference. Well, did they end it so that this could just be the end of the series? Because that would make, I think, the whole planet happy. But here's the deal. If they know that they're going to change things in the Wheel of Time that badly, why would they want to give it to the shills? Unless they thought the shills will like it no matter what, or at least lie about liking it no matter what. But on the other hand, people are going to watch it. They're going to find out. I think that's very similar. Oh, whoops, I lost Norporial's comment. Okay, there it is. It's kind of like the Wheels of Prime. They could say whatever they wanted, but the second that it aired, we'd all figure it out. So it's very short-sighted. They are desperate for a season 4. Really? Why? Well, I know why, but hey, pals, you could have gotten 10 seasons if you'd have done it right. You could have gotten 1,000 seasons if you'd have done it right. It's really not that hard. But no, they have to know better than Robert Jordan. My goodness gracious. Well, I hope it's as bad as you say. Well, I know it's as bad as you say. Everyone has been telling me that about the Wheel of Prime. Okay, episode 7 is called Golden Eyes. I think the parent story does not deliver. I think Foila takes away his agency completely. Oh, okay. So if it's Golden Eyes, it's probably supposed to be all the stuff with Perrin in the Aemon's Field. Well, they've already kind of ruined Perrin anyways, so they've ruined everybody. My goodness. Yeah, we do not endorse the Wheel of Prime here on Miss Martin Muses. Read Robert Jordan's books. Read his books. Well, I am happy, though, to see Prophet of the Dragon's been doing very well with this. I think that the content and covering of it, well, you were on there with him, will be good for his channel and good for people that want to have an outlet. I think it's very important that people have outlets for their frustration when they see what they're doing with these shows. How is Steeg Kenobi? Hello, Steeg. How is the future? The Wheel of Time show. I am not going to read all of the words here. The Wheel of Time show is made for certain individuals, for bigger, slower individuals. Hence why it is dumb. Nerd Poor Life Form says the show makes Perrin go home because he doesn't want to adventure anymore. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. So he gives up. So they emasculate him. Well, why am I not surprised? Not because the two rivers are in danger. My gosh. Hey, Steeg, I was just going. So hugs to all. Got content to make. Yes. Yeah, everyone have a look. What's he going to do? He's going to be covering some of the red carpet, or rather the not red carpet for the Snow White. Well, they have ways of tracking these things, and I think it's tracking very badly. And I remember back in the day, we all thought that the Captain Marvel was going to be doing very poorly because we kind of wanted it to. But the things that were tracking, the premieres, all of the publicity, you knew it was going to do well. Why it did well, people can argue, but it did. All right. Norporio says, I was on with him last night. Episode was literally slow. They made gray men gray. No, no, no. Like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. Nynaeve gets stabbed 11 times. Oh my gosh. Yeah, spoilers for the Wheel of Prime show, though I don't think anyone cares. Perrin's axe actually hits him. What? Holds it off? So the bubbles of evil. Oh my gosh. Bubbles of evil. That sounds like some bubbles of nightmare happens. Rachel Zegler red carpet woes, or not red carpet woes. So not even Perrin and Egwene are dead, but show logic keeps them alive. There are no rules. Well, they sure take that to Varen to one hell of a next level, it sounds like. Ridiculous. Well, you see, that's just so far from anything that's even halfway resembling the show. And I'm able to separate hearing things like this. But again, I'm trying to keep the images out of my head because of the aesthetics. Things that you see stick with you, I think, more than things that you hear. But I know enough of, for example, the casting that they've done. Like after I read the first book, I looked at the cast and I was like, what am I even looking at? And not just necessarily all of the swappings, but the uglifying of everything. Since when did everything have to be ugly? We like beauty. Nerdpearl says the story opens in Tar Valon instead of Tyr, but they have the nerve to mention Tyr in Kalendor. You're talking about the real story. This is the one where it starts with Min. They had the nerve to paint and reduce the sky duel to an Easter egg. Oh, gosh. That's just the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. The sky duel was one of the coolest things ever in the Wheel of Time. Steve Kenobi says, saw some individual wanting Zegler to play Mara Jade. Okay, they've just got to be trolling. No wonder Hollywood doesn't know what to do. Here's what they need to do. Just quit listening to fans and quote unquote fans and just do the content the way it's envisioned and the way it's supposed to be. I guess maybe I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because I do want them to listen to the fans. Well, they need to listen to the fans when the fans are right. I mean, they got to have some discernment out there. Get out of their little bubble. Like, for example, some of the stuff with the Snape casting, they need to listen to the fans on this one. Especially, oh my gosh, some of the backlash has been so brutal. So brutal. From the African American community, it's harsh. It's very harsh. And rightly so. They deserve it. Is Disney Stars ever going to make a movie again? Well, the one that they're going to make is going to be the one with Grogu not Baby Yoda and The Mandalorian. I think all of the other ones are gonna be canceled. They just can't do it, and the only reason they're gonna do Grogu and it'll probably be success because my Baby Yoda. It's been over 5 years now. Yeah, they suck. Talk about killing the golden goose. That's all they're doing. And I don't feel sorry for them. That was another example of all you had to do. You had one job, and you couldn't even do that. So, no sympathy. Yeah, Star Wars is DED. I think they should sell. Oh, they're not. I mean, I think they should. Well, I think they, knowing what I know now, they shouldn't have even bought it. But what you got going on is, from their point of view, they're doing just fine. They never intended to make great art, great movies. It was a cash grab. A cash grab with a tint of let's destroy what people love. A humiliation exercise, pushing their propaganda. But for the most part, I think Star Wars is doing exactly what they wanted it to. They take these IPs, use them up, wring them dry, and then spit them out. It is funny, though, that they're losing lots of money. On the other hand, what they lose in one side, they gain with another. Though it is fascinating to me that they have had so many flops lately. Diga says, I'll just hold my money for the next Witcher book. Correct. Speaking of which, oh my gosh, is there not a Polish to English translator on the planet? I can't imagine why they're waiting to give these out in the different languages with the popularity of the books soaring because of the TV show. I have an interest in it. Think I ever really heard of The Witcher before the TV series? No, I did not. They should have had a worldwide release. Oh, he's asking about the Witcher books. I'm not liking the new Daredevil. D plus just ruins everything. Well, we knew that they wouldn't do right by Daredevil. They won't do right by anything. But everything I was told about the Netflix Daredevil before they kind of got their mitts into it was really, really good. And now, of course, they're doing it really, really bad. Didn't they kill somebody important, like in the first few episodes? Yeah. Yeah, the guy who wrote The Witcher, and I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name because I'll make a fool of myself. He wrote a prequel, either a prequel or a sideways one. Like it's not a continuation of the story. Well, that's what Steve told me. Well, no, yeah, it's already out. It's out in Polish and I think in Russian. It's like they're doing all the Cyrillic, or is that the name of those languages over there? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm still stuck with Methodius, Cyril and Methodius, and their letter system. I don't know if that's what we call the languages nowadays. Yeah. Stop giving Disney Plus money or attention. Only way to make it go away. Yeah. I get a little cranky. Yes, I do, Precious, because people say don't give them money, and I agree, unless you want to. I'm talking about the individuals that want it to really go away, that are really wanting to be part of the culture war and stuff. But there's also the other side of it, that if you are giving it attention, like if you really truly are hardcore, you have to ignore it, because giving it attention will not make it go away, especially when we're dealing with Disney. of Time's a bit of a different story because, first of all, it's really not being given a lot of attention, which probably is more frustrating than anything else to them. Notorial says, yeah, Fungi got killed in the first 5 minutes and Karen left as a result. So they got replaced by a more inclusive casting choice, of course. And then they wonder why people don't like it. The new Witcher book is out in English in September. Thank you, Steve. I still think, though, that sucks. They should have gotten it sooner. Get it to us in English, for crying out loud. I wonder, has someone tried to translate it using AI? But I wouldn't want to read it that way because AI can only do so much. There's subtleties in languages. It would be like Google Translate. It would be like an awful Google Translate nightmare. YouTubers who are against Disney tend to be really good at boycotting between shows. Oh, interesting. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Well, there is some truth to that as well. I've gone on the record that I will not necessarily boycott Disney. If I were to do a true boycott of Disney, it would be absolutely absurd. I wouldn't watch anything. Disney owns what? ABC, Hulu, all the sports channels. I respect this decision of those that do choose to go full boycott, and I respect the decision of those that are like, no, I will watch what I want, spend money on what I want. My opinion is the attention is the concern. Because it's attention what they crave, not so much money. Yeah, I think Marvel and Star Wars gets way too much attention, says No Pro Life Form. Yes. Yes. It's slowly becoming irrelevant. I mean, what kind of content can you make? Like, I remember when the Rings of Prime came out, the first season, it was a very different feeling. I think because we were shocked by it. It was the first attacks that Tolkien fans were getting. The first lies, the revisionist history, all that stuff that they were making up that about my people being awful to Ian McKellen. It didn't happen. The shock that they didn't have the rights, but they had been kind of hiding that for how long? Years leading up to it. And then the gaslighting that happened. I noticed the second time around, it didn't get as much attention. It's almost just like, okay, we're out of steam here. We know that it's going to be ridiculous. My interest in Star Wars is gone, says Norporeal Lifeform. Even my interest in the OT and Luke Zero have diminished too. Hopefully the EU can save it when I finally read the Thrawn trilogy. I think that might help jumpstart you into getting into a happier world. After Wheel of Time, of course. Yes, we are both dedicated to watching the Wheel of Time. Sorry, rather reading the Wheel of Time. Finishing it by the end of the year. Yes, precious. I think you will enjoy the Thrawn trilogy. You really will. And I think it'll make you a bit happier, perhaps, about what there is out there for you. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Entertainment, I don't want to say is dead because there is good stuff coming out now and then. But the only way to go is to go back. Just go back, read the original EU, read the Forgotten Realms, read the Dritz books, read all of those, read Dragonlance, read the Raymond Feist books. Actually, one could argue that's not old entertainment. It's all being written right now. There is good fantasy being written right now. Raymond Feist. I'm told Abercrombie. I frankly have not read any Abercrombie. All of this is good. It's good content, and it'll be entertaining, and you will enjoy it. Or read the new Conan comics. If you're a comics fan, there is good comics out there being written. You just won't see it highlighted because if it's highlighted that, hey, look at these really awesome comics being written, then maybe people may not be motivated for independent ones. I'm just saying. Steak says the first Thrawn book has a pretty good CGI fan made movie on YouTube now. It does indeed. It does indeed. So yes, that's the closest you'll get to seeing it on the big screen, or get the graphic novel versions. It is salty traveling. See, Abercrombie is solid. Well, I'm glad you have discovered him. Abercrombie is utterly awesome. Yes, I have been told. I am believing you because so far the Viking has not been wrong. Oops, I missed Norporial listening. Entertainment in of itself does not interest me anymore, says Norporial Lifeform, especially new stuff. I will check out something new if someone I trust says it's good. Why I gave Picard 3 a shot despite new Trek. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually tried to watch Picard season 3 because I had heard good things about it. I couldn't stand the first 10 minutes. And I just realized, okay, it's over. Over. Yeah. Well, I hope you trust me. And if you like Sword and Sorcery, read the Titan comics or read the original Robert E. Howard ones, Robert Jordan ones. You like Robert Jordan as a writer from The Wheel of Time? Read his Conan books. Those are awesome. Darth Angelus channel. Thank you. Oh, now this is where I'm going to get jealous of Salty Traveling Sea. I met Jim Zub over the weekend. Not just a great writer, but a humble, cool guy that loves the Howard source material. Yes. Yes. And you can see it in the comics, in the stories, in the essays. At the end of the comics, I'll lay it out here. When I get the new Conan comics, I go to the back and I read the essays. Those are my favorite parts. Just lore. Yes. He got an award at the Robert E. Howard Days, and it was very well deserved. So happy you got to meet him. Sticknoby says 10 books in the First Law world by Abercrombie so far. Worth it and them, son. Oh, dear. I just got done reading the Feist things, the Rifford Saga. That was 25 books and 14 books with Robert Jordan, but they're humongous, and we've got 10 and still going. However, Steve, that is something to be looking forward to, isn't it? And well, cheers. Can't read to read his stuff, says Memorial. Mostly what has gone to are the franchises, says Steve Kenobi. The good stuff is found outside of that. Indeed. And it's no small thing that the franchises have been butchered. And because they have such a strong hold on our popular culture, it is by design, I would say. That's one of the reasons they do it, besides milking the money, because they think, oh, all we have to do is throw in a few dragons and people will watch it. Not necessarily. They don't understand fantasy. They don't understand fantasy at all, or what goes along with it. That's why everyone needs to read Tom Shippey's Author of the Century, where in defending Tolkien as author of the century, he is also defending fantasy as great literature. But that is true. The franchises, but most of the other stuff is still doing pretty well. There's even good Batman and things being written. People tend to highlight the ones that go bad, and I understand why they do. But yes, Harry Potter, a lot of the Marvel stuff, the MCU, all of those, yeah, they're just bleh. Everything else is good. One could argue Conan is technically a franchise in the sense of it's definitely in popular culture. Salty Traveling Sea says, all credit to Steeg for turning me on to Abercrombie. Yes, I blame Steeg for everything, but it's given me so much entertainment. See what happens when you listen. Oh no, he's going to start lecturing. See what happens when you listen, Salty. Things go well. Always listen to the Viking. He's pretty much right on that. You see, when he says it to me in his voice, it's very scoldy when he does that. But yeah, Steve sent me the Magician. He had a copy of the Magician that he sent to me in a gift box thing. So that's how I was like, okay, I guess I'll read it. Here we go. And it was great. It was a great, great ride. The Big Bang Theory and Stranger Things helped destroy nerd culture. Normie apes got motivated getting into nerdy stuff. I can't say you're wrong about that. Well, I think also that that's maybe why big companies also decided to try to capitalize on it and didn't realize what was behind the love of the nerd culture. Like, you can get it in a bottle. You can't sell soul. Salty Traveling Sea says, also recommend Fleece's Feral comic series, engaging and deeply moving storytelling. Can I read? Met that dude too, and a remarked blank cover. There is good stuff out there. Yes, there is. As I said earlier, there, there's a reason why people pretend there's not. Follow the money, friends. Follow the money. All right, I'm going to look that up. Thank you, because one thing about the new Conan books, it's gotten me into my LCS. I'll have a look. Yeah. Yeah, comics are good. Yeah, the Savage Sword, well, I definitely have been enjoying the Solomon Kane stories, and I like the fact that it's renewing interest in Solomon Kane. If you haven't seen the movie with the man I love, and no, it's not Faramir, there's another one. I love him so much I've already forgotten his name, but he starred in the Solomon Kane movie. It was a solid movie, not a great movie, and it got in not development hell. It was the release issues, from what I've been told, that something about the American distribution kind of wrecked it. So it didn't do well at the box office enough to have any sequels. But if you do want to enjoy a movie, look up Solomon Kane. Thank you, James Purefoy. Thank you. You see, there was a woman who pops in with the name James Purefoy with an exclamation point. And if you are a straight woman, you know why we give him an exclamation point. He was the perfect Solomon Kane. He is Solomon Kane. Oh, he was so good in that. Yeah, Stranger Things, Big Bang. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, Stranger Things, I quit watching after the first season. To me, the novelty had worn off about it. And they've taken so long between seasons, it's ridiculous. D&D and Stranger Things, yeah. I'm not even entirely sure they represented it correctly. But then again, D&D is what you make of it, which is kind of why it works, which is kind of why it's ridiculous what they're doing with D&D with all this 5th edition stuff, because you create your character how you want to create your character in this world, in this role-playing world. So if I wanted to, say, be a queer character, if I wanted to be in a wheelchair or something that was incurable, that was something that could be worked out. You could do it. You could play whoever you wanted. If I wanted to be playing as a man, and if a man wanted to play as a woman, you could do whatever you wanted to do. So this virtue signaling that they're doing, like, finally in Dungeons and Dragons, we have this. It's like, you've always had it. You've always had it. Salty Traveling Sea says, I think actual nerds are going to off the charts in the esoteric shadow sidelines again with their beloved book shows, just like the 80s. Turn off streamers as well as the rage farming YouTube grifters. Okay, several thoughts here. Actual nerds are going to off the maybe that's a typo with their loved book shows. Oh, I think you mean the fact that actual nerds are going to be enjoying it in the silence, the way we used to be, because it's become so corporate that real nerds are going to be going back to where they were, if I'm correct. Let's see. Turn off streamers as well as the rage farming YouTube grifters. Yeah. Well, don't turn off me, please. But I know what you're talking about the rage farming. I have a big problem with rage farming. I've talked about it on several occasions. Mostly how it's used on X, but it is also used on YouTube. On the one hand, I cannot necessarily give grief to individuals who are putting food on the table. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. If by saying something that's a lie or an exaggeration, you could make as much as $10,000 a month, I understand the temptation. That's one heck of a temptation. To do the right thing, to turn away from that kind of money is difficult. Steek says, nope, they had the black chick claim she was a level 20 rogue. In the editions in the 80s and 90s, there were no rogue classes. It was called Thief. Okay. Oh, changing the names. Yes. I'm not sure what the nope is referring to, except for unless I'm saying like it's not real D&D. James Purefoy, who we love, Rachel Percy Art says, is going to play King Randar in Masters of the Universe, which I just know it's going to be bad, but I'll watch it anyways. You had me at James Purefoy. I probably won't watch the movie, but I might look at stills of him. Season 4 was fantastic. Of Stranger Things? Well, then I'll think about it. Steve Kenobi says, gatekeeping on the surface is a bad thing, but lack of gatekeeping has utterly destroyed franchises and hobbies. So, yeah. Well, my only issue with gatekeeping is, well, who's doing the gatekeeping? How do we do the gatekeeping? The gatekeeping needs to be done by the powers that be. And if you don't have the powers that be being willing to do so, I don't know how we fight that. On the other hand, maybe we can be a little less accepting of it in our areas of control. How's that? Or maybe just in your own peace. Let's see. Thanks for interpreting my half awake squall messages. Okay, was I correct? I think I was correct. It's all right. I'm mostly half awake. Like I said, I'm not feeling very well, but it actually might be the weather because we have been having some awful, awful dust. That might be it. So I'm not going crazy. Yes. Gatekeeping. And remember, just a reminder, this is open musing. So just tell me about what you'd like to muse and we will muse upon it unless it's something specific that I can veto. I will veto if it is something that is going to destroy my life and my channel. Gatekeeping starts with the author and his or her family. That is correct. Yes. The stuff that we see with the Rings of Power is only possible because of the current family. Once Christopher Tolkien died, that was it. It's anti-derivative, Jill. Why, hello there. Thank you for being here. About what would you like to muse? Let me know. It is open musings. Yes, it does have to start with the author and the writings. And that's why the movies of the first Harry Potters were so good. She gate kept the crap out of that. I mean, she had the best lawyer on the planet when she did all the things with the rights and how she got creative control. Unfortunately, she went off the rails on those things after the Harry Potter. Unfortunately. She might be right about one issue, but on the others, no, she is not to be commended, as we have seen ourselves with the news we have about the new Harry Potter show. Steve Kenobi says, fans need to come down a lot hotter on companies that alter hobbies and franchises to cater to casual normies. I agree. And I think it does work and has worked in some cases. The reason why at the end of the day things like the Star Wars didn't work is because we had The Last Jedi, we had the Solo movie, we had some really bad things. And then suddenly everybody was watching The Mandalorian and sucking up because of Baby Yoda. And so that was it. Any attempt to do anything about Star Wars ended from our side when people forgave. People found that the Star Wars is going to be saved. The whole Civil War was making money and views for their YouTube. That was when it all ended, at least from our side. I'm of the opinion that we couldn't have done too much anyways. Who knows, though? And more power and respect to individuals that didn't sell out with that. Like I remember, I'll just call him out, Ryan Kennel. He did not. Let's see. Looking forward to Solomon Kane comic series from Zub starting in April. Yes. Just a series with Solomon Kane. Okay, I'm so excited. My cat got it. Like, what the hell are you doing? Yes, Solomon Kane. Everyone's saying hello to Anti-Derivative Jill. Gatekeeping writers and directors and low-quality fans. Like the dark fans. I didn't even know they were called dark fans. Oh, dear. Like, yeah. But, you can't stop somebody from watching something, for crying out loud. And I'm not of the opinion that you should bully them either. Now, understand that's different than if someone comes out and attacks you. Okay, well, you need to defend yourself. But I've seen some individuals go way overboard where it almost becomes stalking and really creepy. Doxing, all that kind of stuff. Like, we shouldn't be doing that. And unfortunately, when some of the wackos get out of whack with all of that, it affects, sadly, it reflects badly on the rest of us, or it makes people like me not want to fight alongside you, because I cannot fight alongside people that are acting immorally. I'm not calling you out. I'm not talking about Wheel of Time, because I haven't really been following any of that. But I agree, just so long as it doesn't go overboard. I've seen some people like lose their minds. And that's the other thing. If you constantly are giving yourself a diet of all of this bad stuff, I mean, I know that there are individuals who constantly just feed on everything that Disney's doing, everything that Disney Star Wars is doing, everything that MCU is doing, everything that DCEU is doing, everything. Well, I don't know Wheel of Time with the same people, but let's just add Wheel of Time. Imagine if you did that all day, every day. It starts to get at your soul. It's not necessarily good for you. Criticizing them? Oh, hell yes. Not sucking up to them? Oh, hell yes. Not shilling for them? Oh, hell yes. Never shill. Never sell out. Let's see what Steek says. Disney, quote-unquote, critics stopped having a go at Disney Stars because they got a like from Carano. There's more truth than you know in that. They praised it to manufacture more likes from her to validate their channels. It was cringe to watch. Yes, and that was before she was fired. Hale, oh yes, yeah. And Anna Derivative Jill, everyone give her a sub. She has lots of good pop culture stuff. She does a lot with Star Trek and many, many good things. Steve Kenobi says, going after someone's bad takes is fine. Going after someone's family, disability, or whatever else has nothing to do with the topic is way off target. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm saying just be careful. Yes. If someone has a bad take, let them have it. But yeah, it's like I'm going to dox this person. Or I would even say going after people's looks is cringe. If for no other reason, often the people that are going after people's looks, well, they're not exactly Brad Pitt. It is Zombie Box Reviews. Hello, thank you for being here. Salty Traveling Sea says, escaping the trained negative response we all learned starting with Star Wars The Last Jedi, rage video, point out the obvious, and just walking away is so important. These things aren't worth our time. No, they are not. And, I found myself, for lack of a better word, getting depressed. Really, it was starting to affect my mental health. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I always joke a little bit. Yes, it's pathetic. It took me 5 years to get fully monetized. Yes, it did. Because I stopped, I started, I walked away, and I made the choice that I was just going to talk about what I wanted to talk about. I knew how to get monetized in a few months if I needed to, but my soul, it was hurting my soul. And guess what? I actually believe I have a soul. And I want to go to heaven one day. And I sure as heck don't want to have to face Jesus on Judgment Day and have him go, for Star Wars? All that good you could have been doing, all that love and all that you held back for Star Wars or MCU. Yeah, it's bad for you. It's low hanging fruit for these people. Yes, it is. Well, your channel's been doing really good, if I'm correct. Dang, you've been doing good since I talked to you last. I think we were streaming together about a year, 2 years ago. And I am going to be finishing my close encounters. I promise you. I promise you. I will be coming up with part 2 of my close encounters of the Solfege kind. The problem is it's a very hard video to make. It really is. Oh, we have a super sticker from Anti-Derivative Jill. Oh my gosh, precious. It is $10. $10. What is the super sticker? It is a thank you. Aw. Yeah, you know what, Jill? Please put your link in the chat. Let me see what I can do for that. Well, first of all, let me give you a very hearty thank you for that $10 super sticker. Thank you very much. Let me see something here. Yeah. Anti-derivative Jill, she's good people. Well, everyone's good. What am I going to say? No, the rest of you suck. No, but I mean, for real. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. No, I do not want to put her into timeout. Ban user in their comment. See, this is what's dangerous. You got to be careful when you click on people's names here, YouTube. I always tell people I don't tend to ban. I think I've only banned like 2 people in my entire career of YouTube. There you go, Anti-Derivative Gel. Go ahead and put your link in the chat. Let's see. Oh, close encounters. Close encounters. Because I was rewatching it for Jacob Ironside's channel. And if I know Solfege. And the French dude was okay. He was doing it from a certain point of view, okay, but he wasn't showing the space between the notes. But he was a normie, so I understand why that wasn't correct. But at the very end, what he and the alien say to each other is not what the music was playing. So it'd be like if someone were saying, "Hello, Miss Martin Muses," and the subtitles were, "Coffee is really good." That's what happened at the end of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I have an opinion that what was actually going on with the solfege, which was a question and an answer they were communicating to each other, was written and was part of it because these people know solfege, but for some reason they decided to change it and have John Williams play the other theme. That's my theory. Okay. Now that everyone's asleep because I've done a solfege lesson, the video will be coming. But yes, it is not doing the famous repeat at the end. They are communicating something completely different to each other, and it's kind of cool. I'll give you a hint. The alien does a modulation. It's fun. 11,000 subs. Holy crud, dude. Well done. Well done. Rachel Percy Art says, it is depressing to watching nothing but anger. Yes, I can only imagine how depressing it would be to only make that kind of content. You have to talk about something you love too. That is correct. Yes. Well, I know people that have quit because of it, like quit for good, because it sucks your soul out. And if you are the person that has to put food on the table, again, I'm not completely judging here. Then for the love of everything, go ahead and find some love and joy elsewhere. I get very concerned when I see individuals that aren't going out in the community, and then they drink a lot, and I'm like, "Oh, I know this story. Stop, 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 stop now. You don't want to go down this road." Salty Traveler, Sir Nerdporeal says, that's why I don't really care about culture war stuff anymore. People automatically dislike and like what their YouTubers like. Yeah, I'm not going to call out. Well, I tend to not call out others. I blind item, but I hear your point, so that's why I'm not reading it. I understand the sentiment. Absolutely, people automatically dislike and like what, or pretend to, what other YouTubers like. I'm not sure that is entirely sincere, and again, I go back and forth on judging on that. I guess the only caution I would say is, folks, it profits you nothing to give up the whole world for your soul. But for YouTube, be careful. I am going to be Catholic explaining online trolling, which is a little bit related to this. The idea that what you do online does not affect your real life, or in the context of religion, if you are a Christian, that it won't affect your soul and even your final destination. People need to be careful. Close. Oh, here we go. We're going to get a pun. Close encounter of the turd kind, Salty. It's oh no. It's when you defecate in your pants. See, I'm trying to be safe for work here, friends. Someone make an AI of that. And I say AI because I can't draw. Zombie Box Review says, I decided to distance myself from that part of the community because I'm just over all the drama and negativity. Mm-hmm. And remember, the drama, especially fights, are manufactured. Even the biggest ones, they're planned. Zeke says, I boomered it on John Chalk's channel once. Banned a guy by mistake. He spurred hard. Oh, wait. He whatever hard. Well, I hope that's not a keyword. Steve is very good at getting channels. No, not demonetized. You've not gotten any channels demonetized, but occasionally I've gotten a few streams. But it was my fault too, because that was when I was using more F-bombs. I'm trying not to. I gave up the F-bomb for Lent, and I've only really broken it because of my cat. Yes, I did that once too, but unbanned and apologized. And you'll know if I ban you. in the sense of if you're sitting here being a troll, like a really bad troll, let's see, I've only had 2. 2 I've actually had to ban where it was that bad. Salty traveling. See, that's why I walked away, Brian. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting his name is Brian, and we're allowed to say it. There is nothing of any value in the content the studios make, and the supposed YouTube subs count is empty and a fallacy. Yeah, yeah, you got to be careful. I talked about this yesterday. That there's a lot of corporations behind these. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a free country. Do as you like. But just realize it's not if you're trying to mimic that success, you will not. Okay, some do. And I've got a few I could call out, but I won't because I won't. But they're not part of this stuff. But they're all in business together. Let me just put it to you that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're making yourself frustrated or depressed even because you're not seeing that same kind of success, no, you will not. And that kind of success comes from the backing of strong supporters and very powerful people. It's not against the law. It's great. Fine if that's what works for you, but do not compare yourself. You will be depressed. All the typos. I need coffee. There we go. There's her channel, Antiderivative Jill. Steve Kenobi. Imagine the people pretending to be angry about something they never cared about getting destroyed. Even worse. Yeah. Pretend to be angry about something you never cared about. Yeah, it's hard. It's not good for your soul. Thank you. I'm glad I didn't get banned. Yes. Well, they shouldn't have that option in the same list. Thank you. You're more than welcome, Antiderivative Jill. Zombie Box Review says there are way too many crazies in that fandom. Of course, you could be talking about several. I'll change that to fandoms, I think, or unless you're talking about something specific. But I need to be careful because part of my rules are I do ask that we not specifically call out people unless they're here to defend themselves. Blind items, it's a gray area, but I blind item too. On one hand, you've got folks who are all about kissing Disney's butt for early access and perks. Yes, we know that. And on the other, there are hardcore gatekeepers. Yes. Yeah, the hardcore gatekeepers, and I think you're talking about the people that go way overboard, like stalk and dox and attack people's family business, their grandma. Yes. Zombie Box Review. Add some oddballs claiming to have a made-up bird connected to Lucasfilm. Well, we've talked about that. If you really had connections like that to Lucasfilm, you wouldn't be talking about it. I know for a fact that when you have a source, you never talk about it. Never. Because that source will disappear. But are people really lying when they say they have sources? A lot of it's on Reddit. Spitting facts, Steve Kenobi. How much of a soul do they have, though, if it's for sale for a few bucks from the get-go? Yeah. Well, it can be like alcohol. The soul can. You start off with 1, maybe 2 after work. Then it becomes, after a while, 3. Next, you're drinking in the morning. You see, it could be subtle. I know, because I've seen it, you can start small with selling your soul. And little by little by little by little, it turns into big things. That's why we have the concept of mortal sin versus venial sin. For one thing, because it's a fact. Second of all, like a venial sin won't necessarily make you go to hell. You will not go to hell for a venial sin. But the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit, it will lead to the bigger sin. Don't worry, guys. George Lucas will be buying back Disney and the Acolyte will never be released. It's just this is oh dear, we remember those. See, I never followed any of that. I I won't I'll tell the truth. Well, I always tell the truth. I got out of that once things started getting nasty. Nothing is worth being cruel over. Definitely not Star Wars or the MCU. It's so easy to get caught up in it. But yes, if the soul is fertile ground for things, how much of a soul do you have? Yeah. Well, people have insecurities. We talked about that yesterday. What makes people insecure? What makes people unhappy? And then they get a little taste of validation, a little taste of attention. And if you're not on your guard, you'll fall. I always talk about how it's part of my custom. In Catholicism, you're supposed to do a daily examination of conscience. It's a good thing to do that. It keeps you honest. And in general, it's based off the 10 commandments, the golden rule, love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's Dead Man Walking. Hey there and good morning. Have a great stream and day. Why, thank you. Yes, everyone. Yes, we love Dead Man Walking here. And his wife just got monetized. Show that woman some love. She has been working her butt off. Yes, she has. And well deserved. Well deserved. Yes, Stig did. I got doxxed by an anti-Disney YouTuber for not supporting Disney. Can't beat that. Yeah, that's, I think, when we knew everything was going crazy. Talk about not being able to win. Yeah. Happy birthday to Mrs. Dadman Walking. Yes, we all love her. Was it her birthday? Was yesterday, I believe. Or is it today? Well, either way, we love her. Happy birthday. And show her some love with her monetization, because she has been very supportive of me. And everybody. I mean, just do it because she's a nice person. Let's see. Well, we've been going for an hour and 18 minutes. I'm so happy when everyone comes and keeps me company. Yeah, I always have a topic ready to go just in case I have some slideshows. And today we did not get to it. Let me see what's going on. We have, well, hopefully some musings tomorrow, and I'll go through that. We also have my video on Friday. It's going to be, from what I understand, a Tolkien letter, unless something big happens. Because if we get some breaking news like the Snape issue, that's going to change things. It is Soul Extraction. It's been a while. Good morning, Miss Martin, mods, and chat. Well, good morning to you too, sir. Hope you are well. That's wild. Oh, yeah, it was. I'm just not saying anything. Okay, I'll shut my mouth. It's a slow slope. But if you'll do one bad thing, it just escalates. Over Star Wars. Imagine that. Imagine that. As much as I like Star Wars, it's not worth losing your soul. I mean, imagine sinning over Star Wars if you believe in sin. Look at the secular version of sin and the religious version of sin over Star Wars. Over the MCU. Over even this Rachel Zegler thing. Though you can talk about this situation with the Snow White without sinning very easily because it is low-hanging fruit. You don't have to go out of your way to find, okay, we really are running out of things to say about her, so let's just get extra mean. You don't need to because she keeps giving us the content. But even she is a human being with a soul. She's a child who got spoiled and got given too much too early in life. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you had the power to do so, like to destroy her life, why? Criticize the other thing. And it's the same with our fellow human beings that we see around us. And I'm also going to throw out a challenge to you all. Let me find it. What are you doing today? What are you doing today? Is it what I was talking about? Doing things that suck your soul out? Or are you going to do something that's going to lift you up? I'm going to bring this up here. I saved it, even though I already did a stream on it. I saved it. We're going to read this, but first, Adega Outlaw has some good advice for us all. To be angry or divisive over such trivial things means we have had it good for too long. Yeah, if we have to go way out of our way. Well, I've also been warning, even about the big things, we have to be careful about how we, quote unquote, fight it and careful of friendly firing. I think that we're losing sight, the powers that be are losing sight of who's the enemy and who's not within America. And that, remember, you're not just owning the libs, you're owning everybody. And that's not okay. You need to be careful. Anti-derivative Jill says, I enjoyed watching most of the Snow White movie with my daughter. She was enjoying it, so at least this reminded me something good exists. Yes. Earlier in the stream, I recommended for everybody to go ahead and watch the cartoon. Everyone should watch the cartoon when this is coming out instead of, the bad one. It's like, please, please, pretty please. It will give you joy. It'll give you love. And is it old-fashioned? Yes. It was made, what, in 19 freaking 30? I mean, come on, people. Come on. Of course it's old-fashioned and silly and airy. Her little voice is very, someone called it like Cossetti, if you know from the musical Les Miserables. It's innocence, but it's also beauty. It's also beauty. Let me see something here. What does Steek say before I read this? So fix it. We need to make sure a lot of people who have good have it way worse. Wait. We need to make sure a lot of people who have it good. I see what you're saying. You're being sarcastic. So to fix it, we mean to make sure a lot of people who have it good have it way worse. Yeah. No, Stieg. It's the fact that we take our eyes off of what is important since it becomes mundane. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm not understanding what y'all are saying. Help me. I've been watching some of the older animated movies the last year. Lots of stuff I never got to watch in its entirety when I was a kid. Snow White was one of them. Yay! Yeah. And if you're worried about giving Disney money, don't. go to a half-price bookstore or go to, I don't know, a thrift store. Dig into your old boxes. You probably own it. Find it half price. Find it secondhand. I'll probably be going there today, actually. I was joking. Okay, you see, that's what okay. You see, yeah, or I thought you were saying something else. Yes. No, we've got it. I just wasn't sure I understood. All right, so let's read this together. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Don't plan it. Don't wait for it. Just let it happen. It could be a new shirt at the men's store, a cat nap in your office chair, or 2 cups of hot black coffee. I'm going to disagree with the second sentence a little bit. Go ahead and plan it. We might have to plan it, especially if you've got a busy day. Plan it. If you have to set the alarm, the freaking alarm, plan it. Plan something you want to do, a present. I've been advocating for tea time. That's good for you. And of course, I don't like hot black coffee. I like it with cream. A pirate life works well for getting a hold of older movies. That's true as well. That is true as well. Special Agent Dale Cooper is a great fountain of wisdom. He is indeed. Don't lose your soul, kids. Don't lose your souls. We all have a tendency toward it's called concupiscence. The bad. Fill yourself up with the good. And you'd be amazed at how much peace you will have. Anti-derivative Joe says, planning is good, but stay adaptable for when things don't go as planned. Yes, that is true. Yes. Yeah, maybe if something goes wrong, don't lose your crap either. Yes. Yeah, I'm more thinking, I've got to say, for crying out loud, on Wednesday, I'm going to go to the crochet store, the yarn store, rather. I'm biased, crochet store. Now, for some people, that might sound like a nightmare. For me, that's, I get to be around yarn and look at the different yarns, see what came in, look around. It's really quiet and peaceful. Or going and getting a cup of coffee and sitting on the porch, or cuddling with a puppy. I have to plan that because I don't have one, thank goodness. But I love visiting my sisters. But yes, you are correct. You also have to be ready when things don't go as planned. Oops. Steek says, I got a big cup today from Texas. Yes. Yes, that was a surprise. Yes, I sent some things to Steek, and I got him a Texas size, Texas proud t-shirt. Oh, rather t-shirt. Cup of coffee, a mug. Why did I say t-shirt? My brain's not working. Mug. So you can say it's so Texas, or it went Texas, because that's an expression apparently in Norway. Making priorities also helps. Darn right. Set 3 small goals for each day, says Steek, even if one of them is just to take out the trash. Yes. Well, let me tell you my sequence, how I work things. Monday is make up bed Monday. And it's not just making up your bed, it's also like cleaning the room, but it rhymes with Monday. Or rather, it's with the M. Table Tuesday, clean off tables, kitchen table, dining room table, table with all your clutter, your desk, table Tuesday. Washing Wednesday, make sure all your dishes are done and do all your laundry. Thursday, trash Thursday. Just take out the trash, and that includes junk in your house. Just take a trash bag and get rid of it, or take it to Goodwill. Floor Friday, clean the floor Friday. Sort Saturday. That's when you sort out the crap that's in your nerd room or in your garage. Sunday, rest because of God. Rachel Percy says, trips to the yarn store. That's the best, isn't it? Yes. If you like yarn. Well, and they also have a little sitting area. So you can bring your crochet and just sit and crochet with your coffee. And you can just like talk about yarn or hooks. I also need to go there because I need to get some more little markers where you mark where you are in your rows with crochet, especially with rounds. Sometimes you really need to do that. And I just ran out, so I need to get some new ones. And maybe I'll go to the thrift store too, the half price bookstore next to it. Yeah. Find yourself a gift every day. It'll make you happy. Catnap in your office? Well, some people can get away with that. I've never been one that's been able to do a catnap like that. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna be ending this party because it's been going for an hour and a half. As always, I enjoy hanging out with you. Well, yesterday we raided Mrs. Dadman Walking. Let's raid Dreaming Tabitha today. She's live right now. She's speaking of crafts, she's doing like crafts. Is she still live? She is live. Let me put it in the chat. I call them rose raids or Teresa Martin raid. But I guess if people didn't know it was a rose, who that's me, they may not know. But yes, and just watch for a few minutes. Give her some love and some views. Where are we? Where's my channel? Midweek Musing. I'm gonna put that in there. We'll go raid Tabitha. Streaming Tabitha, yes. Streaming, dreaming Tabitha. Stitch marchers have a way of disappearing. Darn right. And also, if you have a cat, all of your crochet stuff will have a way of disappearing. Knitting if you are. Alrighty. Well, so go raid her. And when we're done here, so I want to thank everyone. Thank you, Steve Kenobi, Rachel Piercy Art, Anti-Derivative Jill. Thank you for the $10 super sticker and for being here at Adega Outlaw. You're always here. Thank you. It's great to see Zombie Box reviews. Yay. Soul Extraction also. Yay. It's been a while. Dadman Walking came by and said hi. Salty Traveling Sea. Rachel Percy Art. Nerdporial Lifeform. Who else? La-di-da-di-da. Lots of people were coming in and out. Thank you for watching, and all of you that will be watching on the replay. That was a link to Steek. Wait, what? Did I give a wrong link? Let me see. No, that's a link to Dreaming Tabitha. Am I going crazy? Yes, I am. Wait, I just did it though. It brought up Tabitha. Let me see. All right, I'm pressed. Sorry, it's me. I'm going crazy. Okay, good. It's not me. If I thought I was going crazy, because Steve doesn't even do anything on his channel. He just lets it sit there. Yeah, that man got to like 700 subs for a while without doing anything. It was enough to make a grown woman cry. All right, thank you everyone for being here. Have a great day. Have a great day, and be certain to not let the bastards get you down.